Hello everyone and welcome back to the CarWale YouTube channel. I'm Bilal and this is the Tata Harrier. Now you might be wondering what we are doing behind the wheel of the Tata Harrier, especially since it's been around for a couple of years now. In fact, with this very car we did a detailed video and you can find the link to it in the description below. Now, if you are a regular follower of the CarWale channel, you might be aware that we have a knack of doing something special. And speaking of special, Tata Motors also have a knack of introducing special edition for all its offerings. Case in point, the Dark Edition, which was first introduced with the Harrier and it was followed with all the other models as well. Then there's a Camo Edition, there's Gold Edition for the Safari, and quite recently they have also introduced a Kaziranga Edition for all its SUVs. If you want to know about that, there's another video we have done about it and you can find it on our channel or in the description below. If you want one, you can simply walk into a Tata showroom and get yourself a Harrier immediately, even in one of the many special editions. But for those who love the Harrier and for those who are fence-sitters who are waiting to decide whether or not they should buy the Harrier, this video will surely be helpful. Now there's a lot that's already been said about the Harrier. So in this video today, we are trying to answer an age-old question. Kitna deti hai? But wait, there's more. We'll be telling you one crucial thing about the Harrier at the end of this video. So do stick around. Now we are on our way to the fuel pump. As per usual, we'll be filling the tank to the brim. Then we'll drive around the city for some time, around 80 kilometers, and then we'll come back again and tank it up. We'll repeat the same for the highway, and then after some computation, we'll get a real-world fuel efficiency of Tata Harrier Diesel Automatic. After its introduction in 2018, the Harrier got an update in mid-2020, where it received an automatic gearbox option and a bump in power output. This 2-litre diesel went up from 140 bhp to close to around 170 bhp, while the torque remained identical at 350 Nm. This gearbox, it's a 6-speed torque converter and you do get some off-road focused modes, apart from the usual city, eco and sport driving modes. We have come to appreciate the strong torque supply from this engine right from the word go. Although it's noisy, it is also progressive and linear between 1500 and 2500 RPM. You never need to rev the engine any more than that to get going. In the city, it keeps turning away under 2000 RPM mark without a fuss, and when you do press the throttle, it follows suit with good progress, courtesy of its meaty power band. The additional 40 bhp has surely helped, and the torque converter is surprisingly seamless going up or down the gears. Its only chink, at times it does tend to hold on to a gear for a slightly longer time, making the engine needlessly noisier. When driving in the city, the Harrier feels quite massive. It's a big car, so on the upside, it commands respect on the road and other road users move out of the way quite courteously. But on the downside, the controls of the Harrier are on the heavier side, especially the steering, and the visibility all around is not the greatest. So newer drivers won't find it any easier to drive the Harrier quite comfortably at first. But then when you get used to it, you can manage those odd gaps in the traffic quite easily. Now it's time to fuel up again, do the calculation, and then we'll head towards the highway. Well, hold on to your horses, we'll be revealing all the fuel efficiency figures quite shortly. Out on the highway, the Harrier feels quite planted no matter what speed you're doing. Even for triple digit speeds, the engine could be revving close to 2000 rpm mark, and there's still power in reserve for when there's a need for quick overtakes. Its relaxed nature on the highway combined with a well-absorbent ride makes the Harrier quite a mild muncher. Now, while the steering is heavy at slow city speeds, out here on the highway, the steering goes light and is devoid of feel at times, which is quite opposite of what it's supposed to do, right? Even the ride quality of the Harrier is something to write home about. It can go over those erratic rumblers and even tiny speed breakers quite easily without even needing to slow down at times. But the large ones need to be taken carefully because it might upset the passenger's lunch if gone over too quickly than required. At highway speeds, the ride remains flat over most of the irregularities. Moreover, the Harrier's hunkered down feel on the highway also helps with quick lane changing without the feeling of being scared. And if you want to know how the Harrier Diesel Automatic performed in a V-Box test, here are the figures. And now the results are in. The Tata Harrier Diesel Automatic, it took in 7 liters for 79.5 kilometers we drove it around the city, which translates to around 11.5 kmpl. The MID on the other hand, it showed me around 12 kmpl, which is fairly accurate. Meanwhile, for the 82.5 kilometers on the highway, the Harrier sipped in 4.35 liters, which roughly translates to 18.95 kmpl. And the MID display, it was showing around 20 kmpl. It also means that the combined fuel efficiency of the Tata Harrier Diesel Automatic is close to around 13-14 kmpl. Combine it with a fuel tank of 50 liters, you can have a realistic range of around 640 liters. Not bad for a 180 bhp 5-seater diesel automatic family SUV. Now on to the crucial surprise that all of you have been waiting for. Now this particular Harrier, it has close to 28,000 kilometers on the odometer. But more importantly, it has changed hands quite frequently. It has gone through roads which weren't very kind to anything on 4 wheels. And it has been subjected to worst of condition that any car could go through. But has the Harrier stood the test of time? Well, it certainly has. Now its cabin, it still has that solid and built to last feel to it. The engine and the suspension, they are still going strong. And there are no real electronic issues that we have faced with it so far. So, good job Tata. Now before we go, do remember to like, share and subscribe to the CarWale YouTube channel. And if you own a Tata Harrier or any of its special variants, do let us know in the comments below about it, your experience, your living with experience and how it has fared so far. And if you want any other specification, detail, on-road pricing of the Harrier or any other car for that matter, do remember to visit our website www.carwale.com. Until next time.